Hi, I'm Vita. I am a current nursing student going into my senior 1 of a BSN program. So some of my classmates are having trouble with Calc, so I decided to make this video to hopefully try to help them. I use the cancellation method. I know a lot of teachers will try to use the formula method, and that just really confuses me. So I'm going to show you what I mean. This is so easy, and you can use it on all problems, easy or hard, and you will thank me later. So what we do is we're always going to start with what we want. For this problem, we want to know how much the nurse will administer, so we're looking for milliliters. So you're looking for milliliters, you want to have that on top. Here's a med label. It says we have 5,000 units per milliliter. So we're going to put 1 milliliter over 5,000 units. We're going to look up to the problem. We have 4,500 units of heparin. So we're going to put 4,500 units. And the units cancel out, and you're left with milliliters. So to do it, you're going to start with 1 divided by 5,000 times 4,500. And you get 0.9 milliliters. For the second one, we are also looking for milliliters. How much will the nurse administer? So since we're looking for milliliters, that is what we want to start with. So we look up to the problem. Oh, look, milliliters. So we're going to have 2 milliliters. That's over 20 milligrams. Those go together. We have milligrams. We want to cancel that out. We look up here. Oh, look, something to cancel it out with. So we multiply it by 10 milligrams. These are going to cancel. So we do 2 divided by 20 times 10, and you get 0.1 milliliters. For the next question, it's also a milliliter question. So we write down what we want. We want milliliters. So here's milliliters. We're going to use this one, 0.3 milliliters. It goes with 30 milligrams. You want to keep these together. So to cancel out milligrams, we look up here. Oh, look, a milligram to cancel it with. 1 milligram over 1 kilogram. Well, you have kilogram, but you need pounds, so you have to convert. So 1 kilogram, I know, is 2.2 pounds. And then to cancel out the pounds, you come up here and use the 110. And those are going to cancel, which is going to leave you with milliliters. So, do the calculation. We do 0.3 divided by 30 times 1 divided by 1 times 1 divided by 2.2 times 110. That gives you 0.5 milliliters. So this one is asking for drops per minute. The nursing abbreviation for drops is GTT. So we're going to look for GTT per minute. Again, GTT is just an abbreviation for drops. Don't let it confuse you, but that's what we're going to use. So we have drops per minute. The drip factor is 10. What that means is that for every milliliter of fluid, you're going to have 10 drips. And that's because you have different sizes of tubing, and on the tubing packaging, it'll give you the drip factor. So that's where that comes from. So we're going to have 10 drops per 1 milliliter, and we got that from this drip factor here. To cancel out the milliliters, we're going to find a milliliter up here to use. Oh, look, milliliter. So you use 50 milliliters, and that is with 60 minutes. Well, when you cancel out the milliliters, you're left with drops over minutes. So to do the calculation, you do 10 divided by 1 times 50 divided by 60. You get 8.3. Well, you can't have a 0.3 drop, so you're going to round that, and since it's below 0.5, it's going to be 8 drops per minute. Here's another one. that has to do with the drip factor. So this one has a drip factor of 15. So again, this just means 15 milliliter or 15 drops per milliliter. And we're looking for drops per minute. So again, GTT, drops per minute, is what we're wanting. So we're going to start off with the drops. So we're going to do 15 drops per 1 milliliter. Again, we got that from this drip factor right here. We need to cancel out milliliter. So we look up here and find a milliliter, cancel it out with. We have 250. And we're going to use 1 hour. Well, we have hours, we want minutes, so we have to convert. So you have 1 hour over 60 minutes. And that's it. This right here is extra. We do not need this. It does not affect the problem at all. Don't let that confuse you. You don't always have to use all the information. So we're going to do 15 drops. So 15 divided by 1 times 250 divided by 1 times 1 divided by 60. That gives you 62.5. Well, again, you can't have just half a drop. So that is going to round to 63 drops per minute. So this one, we're looking for tablets. So I'm going to write tabs over here. That way I know what I'm looking for and what I want to start with. So we have 60 milligram scored tablets. That means that 1 tablet is 60 milligrams. Well, I want to get rid of the milligrams, so I want to be left with the tablet. So I'll look up in the problem and I found a milligram to cancel it out with. These cancel. I'm left with the tablet. So to do the math, we do 1 divided by 60 times 30. And that leaves you a 0.5, which equals half a tab. This one is asking for milliliters per hour. Sometimes they'll try to trick you with questions and they'll just say, what's the rate for your pump? Don't let that trick you. Rate will always be milliliters per hour unless it's otherwise specified. So I'm going to write over here, milliliters per hour. We want to start with what we want. I want milliliters to be on top. So I look over here, I find milliliters. And it goes with this milligram. Okay, I need a milligram to cancel it out with, so I look in the problem. Oh no, I have micrograms. That means I have to do a conversion. No big deal. I do milligrams on top, that way these will cancel, and I know there are 1,000 micrograms in 1 milligram. Now that I have micrograms on the bottom, I can use this 5 micrograms on top. And then I'm just going to put kilograms per minute. Do not let this confuse you. We're about to cancel those out anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do the minutes first. So I want hours. So I'm going to do 60 minutes per 1 hour. And again, these are go ahead and cancel. That way you're not getting confused. And we have pounds and it has kilograms. We have to convert again. So we have 1 kilogram per 2.2 pounds. And there we go. That's how that canceled. So again, this was no big deal. And we have to cancel the pounds. So 210 pounds. And then to do the math, we're just going to do this divided by this times this and so on and so forth. So 250 divided by 200 times 1 divided by 1,000 times 5 divided by 1 times 60 divided by 1 times 1 divided by 2.2 times 210. That gives you 35.79. But we can't set the pump to a point, so we're going to round to 36 milliliters per hour. For this one, what rate will you set your pump? Like I said earlier, rate will always be milliliters per hour. Make sure you know this because this will show up a lot. So don't forget, rate will be milliliters per hour unless otherwise specified. So we have milliliters on top. That's what we want to start with. So we have 500 milliliters. And that goes with 500 milligrams. We want to cancel out the milligrams, so we look in the problem for milligrams. Well, oh, we have micrograms again, so that means there's a conversion. Again, no big deal. I know for every milligram, there are 1,000 micrograms. So these are going to cancel. Now that I have micrograms, I can use this 15 micrograms on top, and I'm going to do 2 kilograms per minute. Again, do not let this confuse you. It's not scary. We're about to cancel them out anyway. So, I like to do the minutes first, just personal preference, because I want hours. So, I'm going to do 60 minutes per 1 hour. That cancels that out. And then I want to cancel out the kilograms. I look in the problem and I have kilograms. Perfect. I don't have to do a conversion. So, I just multiply it by 50 kilograms, which is over 1, and so these will cancel as well. So after you do all the cancellations, you are left with milliliters per hour. So to do the math, we do 500 divided by 500 times 1 divided by 1,000 times 15 divided by 1 times 60 divided by 1 times 50. And that gives us 45 milliliters per hour. Is that right? I think that's right. Let me just double check my math. 500 divided by 500 times 1 divided by 1,000 times 15 divided by 1.
We can go back and edit all this out.
Times 60 times 50. 45. Perfect. Okay, double checking.
We'll edit that out.
Perfect. Okay, this one is looking for the hourly rate. So that's just a fancy way of asking for milliliters per hour. They try to get tricky, but don't let them get you. You got this. So we're going to start with what's on top. So we have 500 milliliters over 6 hours. Oh look, we already have milliliters per hour, so that's all we have to do. So we do 500 divided by 6. 83.3. Again, we can't set the pump at 0.3, so that's just going to round to 83 milliliters per hour. This one has the label. Don't let it confuse you, but make sure that you read it correctly. This right here is 100 units per 1 milliliter. This means the bottle is 10 milliliters. We really don't care. I'm going to exit that out so it doesn't confuse us. So, we are looking for milliliters per dose. So, to do that, we have 1 milliliter per 100 units. We have 10 units for the dose. Cancel out the units. That leaves us with milliliter per dose. So, to do the math, we do 1 divided by 100 times 10 divided by 1 is 0.1 milliliters per dose. I hope you all find this helpful. I know this is the easiest way that I have found to do MedCalc, and it works for every MedCalc problem. You do not have to remember all the different formulas. You just get in there, figure out what you want, and then cancel out till you're left with what you want. I wish you all the best luck in nursing school. You got this.